Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we'll be talking about the New Orleans Pelicans facing off against the Sacramento Kings to decide who will be facing the Oklahoma City Thunder as the 8th seed. Now, before we start, as you guys know, we do the first 5 minutes about the Kings, then the next 5 minutes will be about the Pelicans. And then if you just want to skip to the end of the video, there'll be timestamps. My predictions will be the last 3 to 5 minutes. You can just go there. Before we start, I want to hear who do you think will win and why? And let's get it. Sacramento showed up. Big brother Golden State. Because aren't they like across like the bay or like just their neighbors? Okay, I was trying to do something about that. Either way. So tonight, and it's been a great story because of Keon Ellis and the resilience. Like, honestly, I doubted, and I should not have doubted. I'll be wrong. They'll be the first one. The Kings, because I thought no Malik Monk, no Kevin Huerter. Your backup center's basically Trey Lyles. Like, I thought there was clearly things that the Kings were going to have to overcome. Instead, Keegan Murray drops 32. Yes, 32 from Keegan Murray. Harrison Barnes turns back the clock and drops 17 and looks pretty stellar in my opinion. Then we have ourselves Keon Ellis, who was a defensive menace, just causing havoc in the Golden State Warriors half court. Dropped 15 points. Felt like every transition bucket, it was Keon Ellis. De'Aaron Fox was running around the court, dropping 24. Trey Lyles was grabbing boards. And Davion Mitchell, a guy that at one point, it felt like this year, he was like the odd man out. That, oh, it isn't working. He just turned into a defensive maestro, a guy who's been absolutely fantastic for them and consistent. And first off, bringing defense, and not just defense, a little bit of shooting to the point where you're going, that's Davion Mitchell, the one that I remember from college. So I think that's a huge thing, because if you look at Davion, went from being a 13-minute guy before the All-Star break to after the All-Star break to almost 20 minutes, averaging 8 points, 2 assists, and, you know, shooting like 41% on 3 threes a night. And his three-point shot's been like one of his biggest knocks. And also, by the way, to close out April, he was averaging almost 10 points a game. And the Kings, they come into this game, they're the 13th best offense in the league, 14th best defensive rating, middle of the pack, three-point shooting. If you guys remember, Mike Brown said he was willing to give up being one of the most potent offenses in the league if they could improve defensively. Last year, this was a team that went 48-34. They had the number 1 offense, but they had the 25th defensive rating. Their net rating, was 8th. But this year, they, came up. They only won 46 games, but they're the 14th best defense, 13th best offense. And I'm just saying, if you have 2 top 15, historically, teams that make it to at least the conference finals have both at least a top 15 offense and defense. Not always, but I'm just saying historically they do. With the double-double, triple-double almost machine in Domantas Sabonis, who's literally a top 5 center. De'Aaron Fox wrecking havoc. I just think this is a team that, especially with Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum coming up short, and we don't even know the status of Zion Williamson. Dude, these Kings might shoot the hell out this ball. Because I really like, and the great part about this is, okay, so you want to throw Larry Nance in the game, take Jonas Valanciunas and do your small ball crap? Guess what? We'll throw Trey Lyles in there, baby. Oh, you want to keep Valanciunas and try to go big body? Guess what? We'll throw his Lithuanian brother in Domantas Sabonis at him. Okay. Keegan Murray and Harrison Barnes against Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. Like, it's actually kind of a good matchup. And then Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado, CJ McCollum going against De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell and Keon Ellis. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one where, like, I think it's, especially with the flip now that I was saying that the Pelicans were the one. I mean, the Kings were the ones who might be too depleted. I think with the Pelicans that Zion, we don't know what's going on with his hamstring as of this, making this, as well as Brandon Ingram looks rusty, 3 games back from the knee injury. And CJ McCollum, a guy who was on a heater, that didn't look like that. And the whole thing is, if it's just CJ, take CJ out the game, tell Trey Murphy and Mr. Herb Jones and whoever else. I mean, there's like tons of guys because the Pelicans are deep. It's just, at this point, I think if you can take advantage of a Pelicans team that they're a great 3-point shooting team, but if they can force the Pelicans to go inside and take away their 3-point shot without fouling, I think there's a chance that you just tell them, hey, well, screw your 3-point shot. Because tonight, I think one of the big reasons, if you watch the game against the Lakers, I did say a huge part, in my opinion, that I thought the Lakers and Pelicans game was going to go down to was, huge part was going to be who shot the ball better. And if you saw the team stats at the end of that game, Pelicans went 9 of 30, while the Lakers went 14 of 35. And the Kings are, their shooters are looking good. And I think the whole thing is the Kings know that if they make this an inside game and force them to go through the center and through the paint and slow it down, that's the type of basketball that the Kings want to play. All right, how do the Pelicans do this? So when we look at the Pelicans are coming off a game they fought to the end. I love Willie Green. What a great coach. He got this team to, fight. And in a game that Brandon Ingram, in his 3rd or so game back from the knee injury, still looking a little rusty, wasn't in the final stretch of the game. Zion gets hurt with that hamstring. We don't know as of right now what is the, actual injury and if he's going to play. CJ McCollum came up short. And the whole thing, it's weird with CJ, and I hope he bounces back, because CJ, man, he was on like a 28 points per game tear for it felt like 2 weeks. Jose Alvarado, Larry Nance, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones all gave valiant efforts. Even Valanciunas, they all came out and did their job. And that's why you still can't count out the Pelicans, even if Zion's not there, because you take out Zion, now you have a lineup that's probably going to be Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum, Herb Jones, and Larry Nance or Jose Alvarado, depending on what you want to do, or Valanciunas. They have so much versatility with their roster. And one of the things that the Pelicans, first off, Pelicans 11th best offense, 7th best defense, 6th best net rating, 4th best 3-point shooting team in the league. Statistically, you look across the board, the Pelicans are the better team. Pelicans are the better team. This is a game where if the Pelicans can play their game, which is, taking advantage in transition, going out and playing good defense in the half court, and being able to just out physical and adapt to life. Because if they need to go small ball, they got Larry Nance. If they need to go physical and play some grind ball, they got Jonas Valanciunas. And even if Zion is hurt, because they have Trey Murphy, because they have Herb Jones, because they have our man CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, who we expect to play, and they still have Jose Alvarado and Dyson Daniels and Jordan Hawkins if they have to. I'm very, very confident that, they sometimes the team, they'll go into their transition. So their transition mode where they're able to go metamorphose and change their type of style of play depending on what squad's available for them. And for me, I think if you can get a team like the Kings out of their comfort zone, which the Kings are a team that loves to shoot the 3-point ball, and if you take their 3-point ball away, but more so if you take away because like the Kings also want to take away the Pelicans, so this is going to be a grindy game. Both teams are going to try to take away the threes, play through Jonas and play through Domantas Sabonis, and have like their guys go against each other. So for me, I think the bigger thing is going to be winning the battle and physicality, and just like, this is a Kings team that if you look in comparison to the Pelicans, the Kings, they're not good rim protecting, middle of the pack rebounding, and they draw like a lot of fouls, okay? So I think if I were the Pelicans, I would just be attacking Domantas Sabonis and Trey Lyles all freaking game, all right? Because I know the Kings are going to try to take away my three-point shot. So in return, I'm going to be like, well, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're one of the top 10 free throw attempt teams in the entire league. So for me, I think if they can just keep, like, literally CJ McCollum downhill, freaking get to the rim. Trey Murphy, get to the rim. Herb Jones, cut to the basket, get to the rim. Jonas Valanciunas, get to the rim, baby. Everybody get to the rim. It'll be like Oprah Winfrey. Everybody gets to the rim. And I think if they can get and draw fouls, keep drawing fouls, and just keep attacking and play big. Because the thing is if you look at the two rosters, I think one of the things you'll see is with the Pelicans, you're gonna have Jonas Valanciunas 6'11", you'll have yourself Larry Nance 6'8", you'll have, I believe, is Najee Marshall's available? I know you didn't play the other night. Yeah, from what I'm seeing, right? He's available. So if they need Najee Marshall's out there. So they got, like I said, Jonas Valanciunas, just under 7 foot, 6'8" Larry Nance, 6'6" Najee Marshall. Herb Jones 6'7", 6'8" Trey Murphy. All right. Then you have Dyson Daniels 6'7", Brandon Ingram 6'8". That's 7 dudes before you get the CJ McCollum and Jose Alvarado, who are 8 and 9, and your 8th and 9th guy in those rotations, and that's without Zion Williamson, and those two are your only 6 foot and your 6'3" dudes, while everybody else is over the height of 6'6". Now in comparison, the Kings rotation that they played due to their injuries last night, they're looking at playing Domantas Sabonis, who's 6'10", 6'9" Trey Lyles, 6'8" Harrison Barnes, and 6'8" Keegan Murray. Outside of that, you drop down, and it becomes 6'3" Keon Ellis and 6'3" De'Aaron Fox. So, and 6 foot Davion Mitchell. I think the Pelicans are significantly larger than the Kings, and I think if they can assert their size, that's going to be huge. Now let's freaking decide. Damn. Because at first, I'll be honest, because I start off with the Kings, and I'm like, yeah, this is a wrap. You know, the Kings I thought were depleted, but then the Pelicans are now depleted, it seems. But then I start talking about the Pelicans, and I realize the Pelicans are massive. Okay? Outside of Trey Lyles, Domantas Sabonis, Harrison Barnes, and Keegan Murray, because then it just drops down to Domantas Sabonis, Keon Ellis, and Davion Mitchell in their rotation, because they're just going with like a 7-man rotation. They basically have 4 dudes in comparison to 4 dudes over 6'6", in comparison to the Pelicans, who have 7 dudes in the rotation, not including Zion Williamson, that voice crack right there, that are over 6'6". And I said with both teams, we addressed the fact that the whole goal is both teams take away the 3-point shot and force them to, you know, play inefficient basketball. But the Kings are a team that kind of foul, like middle of the pack. They don't, like, you know, they foul, okay? And the Pelicans are one of the top free throw attempt teams in the league, and they draw a lot of fouls. So I think the Pelicans are just going to be attacking Domantas Sabonis and Trey Lyles inside all game. All right, all game. And I really think the more I think about it, I'm going to go back to the Kings are really depleted. I mean, unless Sasha comes in or somebody like Colby Jones and shocks me, I'm going to be really like thinking the Pelicans, they're just a really deep team. They can switch from being Larry Nance, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, CJ McCollum, and like Najee Marshall now that Zion Williamson is hurt, or Dyson Daniels if they need be, to frickin' Jonas Valanciunas, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, and it's crazy, the thing, while the Kings really have been just take off Domantas, put in Trey Lyles, and then we're still running Keegan and Harrison, and then Keon Ellis, Davion Mitchell, and De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if they'll have the depth to beat them, and I think that's the biggest concern here. If you're watching this game, I think that's just being realistic, and it's not dissing or anything. It's just that's what it is. So that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this game? At this point, I think it is the Pelicans. Plus, the Pelicans going against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round would be wicked, okay? Because I think Jonas Valanciunas is like the perfect center to go against Chet, because if Chet like might struggle to rebound over Valanciunas, and then if Zion gets healthy, I think that's like the perfect kryptonite to the Thunder. So for me, definitely a great matchup we got going on here. And hey, I really do think the Kings have done a great job, but I think this year it shows that, hey, they have their 7 dudes, but they're going to have to go out and get, a couple more pieces, and I think they'll have a complete team that even during it. But like the thing is if that like Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk were there, it would be a different story. But I think this also shows that, like, in comparison, like, Zion might not be in this game. We're acting as if he's not in this game. And the Pelicans are still significantly deeper. And if the Kings were able to get to that level, I think the Kings can get to that contention level that, like, the Pelicans are, like, just on the cusp of. So that's why I think I'm going to take the Pelicans. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. If you guys did make it to the end of this video, let me know. Literally, there's like a truck on fire right now. I'm on my way to Portsmouth driving, and I'm stuck on a bridge on I-95. My arrival has been pushed out like 20 minutes. So pray for your boy. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You guys mean the world to me. Hope you guys did enjoy. Bubbies out.